What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Thursday's 5-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. Yes, the quick fiver. We are heading into the NBA All-Star break, but do not fret. Tomorrow night, we will be recording and giving you an NBA All-Star edition of the Slate Starter Pod. Looking forward to that one. Usually those are a lot more work. We're going to have to get some prep in for that one. Luckily, there's a nice little 2-hour gap between 8:30 p.m. Eastern time and 7:30, or well, I'm doing the math backwards, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time and 10:30 p.m. Eastern time between the lock times for tomorrow night on this 5-gamer. So maybe we'll get some extra little prep in there and be ready to go. But tonight, hopefully you got on a lot of Ja Morant as he was ruled in late and he is smashing. Hopefully you all pivoted onto all of the Şengün and all the land. He has 36 fantasy points right now. It's 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Holy mother of God. Christian Wood, Kevin Porter Jr. out. Jae'Sean Tate also getting there. I played Dennis Schroeder as well. Hopefully he can do something. I don't know what he's at. But the story of the night here was the ability for everybody to recognize that the New York Knicks are a joke. 28-point blown lead in ESPN primetime. I've never seen anything like that second half. Ryan, have you?
Have you ever seen a 28-point blown lead before? I don't think I've seen a 28-point blown lead, like just witnessed it happen. That was absolute breakdown. Shout out to Marcus Aldridge, just knocking down the mid-range over and over.
Cam Thomas season, son.
Yeah, shout out to Cam Thomas, who didn't get the bang from Mike Breen for a shot near the logo. A little bit of homerism coming in there for Mike Breen as he does the Knicks play-by-play. Didn't want to give the Brooklyn guy the bang, the rookie. I guess he has to earn a bang to ice the game.
Even though it was one of the most stone-cold step-back rookie moments.
It was not even a step-back. It was a sidestep.
It was just a sidestep. Sidestep,
Yeah.
Thank you. That's more specific to what it was. But that, Patty Mills, why do you shoot so early in the clock? Doesn't matter. He makes the hustle play. They end up getting it out to half court. A lot of crazy things at the end of that game. But my Lord, Julius Randle, how do you let that one slip if you're going to be the guy on your team? You have to take some ownership of it. Never seen anything like it, Ryan. Never seen anything like it. It was the main event. Watch that. So he's eating dinner and prepping for this. And oh my God, I can't believe it just happened. But Chris Paul just got ejected. That's nifty. We'll see how that has repercussions in this actual late night hammer. Fortunately, didn't play a lot of late night showdown or 2-game slate, I suppose, on this late night hammer here. Ryan, did you?
Sorry?
Did you play the late slate?
I did play the late slate.
Okay.
How much Chris Paul I got?
That's the question. Are we above or below the field? That's all I want to know.
He's playing Houston. I can pull this up. Give me a moment.
Number 1 in pace in the league. But hey, smash that like button as Ryan's looking up the question that I want to know personally. Maybe you do too, because it's always fascinating to know what the number, 10 player, 11 player, according to some projections. I find you to be the number 1 player in the NBA, bar none. I know Petty Theft is a phenomenal player. I know the Chipotle brothers are phenomenal players. But my guy over here, Ryan, I will go to war with him with an ensemble of lineups. I'm trying to think of an analogy for it. I don't have it. Just hit the like button for him. Also, if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, please, 5-star reviews go a long way for us. It's what allows us to keep doing this content for you. We try to get this out for you every single night. We are just in the dog days of this thing, and any bit of encouragement really goes a long way for us. And plus, this All-Star break is going to be great to recharge the batteries, come back in full order here for you. But would love to see those reviews go up while we're gone here. How much Chris Paul did you find?
How much Chris Paul did I land on in the late night? He was not on the late slate. That's what I was trying to think. Because he was.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just assumed because I was thinking
Phoenix. I was like, how much did I land on? And I didn't look. I have some in the main slate, but
okay.
Which probably those lineups are dead anyways. If you don't have the likes of Julius Randle or Alperen Şengün or I believe you're going to need Lance Stevenson when it's all said and done. It was quite the slate. I mean, just looking at the guys who lead the way in scoring outside of Ja Morant, if you fell on Kuzma, Yusuf Nurkic was amazing at his low ownership. There's enough value to get these guys in today, but just getting that right combo.
De'Aaron Fox smashed too. 56.5 for him. Him and Sabonis, very serviceable. DeMar DeRozan just continues to be on an absolute tear. 38 real points. Maybe you just play the over of points for him, put your bankroll on it every night, and just double your money. Maybe that's a cheat code for you guys in legal states. Do such things. But Ryan, we've got a 5-gamer. Again, this one should be pretty quick, pretty seamless here. So fun to be able to react. We haven't been reacting live to a lot of games this week. Maybe that's a bad sign because, again, generally do it when we have sweats and things. Shankoon's up to 40 now. It's just absurd. This is just madness. This is your boy. This is the guy you stuck out your neck and said he would be a 10K player if he were in the right situation.
Yeah, and I still think so. And I think he's showing exactly the reasons why. But people got there. I mean, he was north of 30% owned on some slates on FanDuel. He's looking at the big one on DK. He's up to 20% 12. There. So people got to him. It's not like he was low owned.
Yeah, but you know what? That it was also KPJ and him out. And you were going to have roster spots, I think, with some of the 5 o'clock stuff because you were able to kind of react to it right in the moment as it happened, right? Because you had 3 games in the late night hammer. I guess none of them were that intriguing. 9 p.m.,
a lot of
10 p.m.
That's even more shocking to me that he got there because so many roster spots were taken up with the guys like Jalen Smith. Gary Trent Jr. had 4 eligibility today. OG Anunoby was popular. Terry Taylor, Kuzma. There's a ton of ownership, and still people found a way to get their power forward center. Obviously, utility being available on DK, it makes things easier.
It does. Definitely on DK. FanDuel forwards, you had power forwards from the late night hammer, some cheapies you could take some shots on. But let's get to it here, my friend. 5 games. You ready to get going? My awesome buddy. I couldn't think of anything better.
Let's ride.
Let's do it. There you go. I was talking over you. See, that guy's right. I do it. I do talk over you. Let's go to the guard spot here. It's also entertainment. Let's chill. Luka Doncic, 12-4 here. LaMelo Ball, 9,400. A chasm between those two here. James Harden not going to be playing. Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn can't play. Oh, man. Brooklyn going on a back-to-back here. Going to see some interesting stuff here in terms of rostership with Cam Thomas, Seth Curry, Patty Mills, all at the point guard position, guys that we can talk about here. But then the LaMelo Ball, 9,400 against Miami. Tough situation for him, tough spot, but it's LaMelo, 1.4 fantasy points per minute. That's good enough for me. Rozier's up over 8K. That's crazy. But the guy I want to ask you about on the top end is CJ McCollum. I think you and I both rode with him the other night, put up a fantastic 50-plus point fantasy outing here. Dallas, not the easiest matchup on planet Earth. Not going to be crazy in terms of pace. A really good defensive basketball team, especially, at the 2 and 3 there. But what are we looking at doing with a guy at 8,500 on a 5-game slate that you and I both think could be over 9K before Zion gets back?
I don't think Zion's going to play this season. He's about to get a second foot surgery, I believe.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw how jacked he was in that picture the other day.
Yeah, my source was telling me he might offer a second foot surgery.
Oh, that's
I'm not sure if he'll do the surgery or not. But it's been a weird situation with Zion. He's been training in Portland type of situation. But looking at the guard value over here, the last game of the All-Star break, keep an eye on the situation. Guys might rest leading up to it and get that extra. Some might get an extra of 2 days out of it because of like when they play next week. So pretty big deal for some of these players. Just looking up top, Luka Doncic, 12-4, 5-game slate when the guy can be the highest scoring player. Try to find a way to get him in. 12-4 makes a lot of sense to go there. Now, if you want to save a little bit, Charlotte's in a tough Miami spot. Charlotte's lost 10 of the last 13 games. They're just playing bad overall team basketball after a hot start from this team. They're priced appropriately now in a tough Miami spot. They're not that exciting to go to. The game of the night is Philly versus Milwaukee, potential Eastern Conference Finals preview. Philly will be without Harden. Milwaukee's going to have all their guns ready to go, fully loaded, and Drew Holiday and Middleton. I have no issues if you fall on one of those guys. But looking at some value, because we're going to need some. If there is a no KPJ again tomorrow, you can go to a potential Eric Gordon if he goes, but cheaper guys, Brooklyn on back-to-back taking Washington. I like Patty Mills, low-owned. Luke Kennard, 3,200, was pretty good in the Phoenix game the other night. I have no issues if you fall on a guy like him. Same team, Terrence Mann versus Houston. Targeting Houston seems the way to go on this 5-game slate. Reggie Jackson, priced up at 6,800, but it's against Houston. It's a 5-game slate you would love for great value, but raw points, Reggie Jackson could be one of the 3 highest scoring guards on this slate, weirdly. He has the potential against Houston to do so.
He does. I love Reggie Jackson. Without all these cats, obviously, they shipped out, the likes of everybody. Norman Powell is out for now. Paul George out for now. And lastly, Kawhi Leonard will continue to be out here. It all makes sense. And we'll get to the forward spot. Marcus Morris, a guy that I rode with the other night, I will continue to be there targeting that usage. But I'm with you. Let's head to FanDuel. A little bit different of a puzzle to put together. Luka, 11-3 there. LaMelo, 8,800. He's going to be crazy popular at that tag. It's just kind of wrong, even against a tough Miami team here. We're going to be waiting on Jimmy Butler's situation. He's questionable. Again, as you said, you could see him rest. A lot of these guys could end up resting here before the break, and you could really get some studs and duds here. And up against Charlotte, if Jimmy Butler plays, I want to play him. And if not, you're looking at Kyle Lowry, who has been eternally priced at 5,600 on FanDuel for, it feels like, ever. And he's going to be the most popular play on the slate. And I just don't know how you possibly get away from him. How does he look to you?
Yeah, looking at Kyle Lowry at that ownership might be pretty hard to actually. Yeah, it's a Charlotte matchup, and it's pretty exciting to target Kyle Lowry now that I more think about it.
Yeah,
5,600 outstanding value. Definitely probably going to be the highest owned point guard on FanDuel. But looking for pivots around him, there aren't that many good ones. There's Patty Mills at 5,500. He's been pretty annoying to go to. I think another guy is 5,900. Terrence Mann. He'll be, I don't know, 30% or like so much lower owned than Kyle Lowry tomorrow. I think spending up for Luka Doncic 11-3 is just too cheap. Jimmy Butler 9,100 also too cheap for a Charlotte matchup. So targeting Charlotte and Houston seems the way to go, even on FanDuel. I have no issues if you fall on some of these Washington guys. That being a KCP, 4,200 was outstanding today. Really liked. I really like going to him today. I know he's boomer bust, but I like, again, Brooklyn's defense is nothing to take be scared about by any means. Jalen Green's going to have a good game at some point, right?
I don't know. Dennis Schroeder's played 26 minutes here tonight. There's 4 minutes left in the third. He's going to be the other most popular play on the slate. He's 4,300. I got to a ton of him tonight when it popped up the KPJ, and you had KPJ and Christian Wood that ended up on the injury report. They're questionable with an illness. They ended up both sitting. I got rewarded a little bit for turning a lot of those shares. Whatever I could. I got over 30% of Schroeder. I got to nearly 100% of our boy Şengün, because you've just been beating the drum for that guy. Pretty easy plug and play at his fantasy rate, starting, having all the opportunity to run at the 5. That is just beyond useful. No Daniel Tice there. People don't understand that as well. It's like he was just 100% as much as you could possibly get to. I would have had 110% if I could have in that regards. But Dennis Schroeder now up to 27 minutes here in this game. He's currently got, let me read your line because I know he's playing awesome. He has 16, 5, and 5 here for this Houston basketball team. You're looking at him and Kyle Lowry being 1,000 million% owned on FanDuel tomorrow.
Yeah. Shout out to Alfred Şengün putting up a game. I will be victory lapping this Alfred Şengün game because
you should.
I've been waiting for a long time. So
you deserve this, my friend. Again, may it be one of those Ja Morant lineups. Fingers crossed. One time dealer, one time for my friend over there. Let's head on over to our sponsor, Yahoo. Lowest rake of anywhere in the entire industry, and 10K to first tomorrow. Always love to see that 5-digit payout at the top end. And if you do too, 11% management fee. I'll talk about them here in a second, but wanted to get that going here. At the guard spot, Doncic, $55. You pay up for nice things on Yahoo. LaMelo Ball's $42. Drew Holiday, $34. Terry Rozier down there, $33, and CJ McCollum, $32. But Kyle Lowry, $25. Just plug and play a ton if there is no Jimmy Butler there. And I'm going to repeat this. We got a $19 Seth Curry. Like him again today. Jalen Green, sure, he could have a good game here. That would be excellent for everybody involved. But your most popular guard on the entire slate tomorrow, if he plays on the back-to-back, is Dennis Schroeder, $10. How much is too much Dennis Schroeder tomorrow?
Yeah, if there's no KPJ, I think you can go right back to him. Non-zero chance he might also get waived tomorrow before the game starts. So
KPJ?
Or no, Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad.
So there's a non-zero chance that can definitely happen. But
then don't roster him. How about that?
Yeah. Spending up here, I think Drew Holiday, $34 is pretty solid. I like going to him. Reggie Jackson, $23. CJ McCollum, $32. All three of those guys Seem pretty exciting to spend up to. And another guard spots, yeah, Schroeder's available at 10. Don't mind going there. Kennard's also 10. Corey Kispert is 10. So a lot of the spend down options for us to potentially spend up for guys like Giannis and Embiid. 5-game slate, just getting those raw points, or even Luka, pretty darn valuable to go with on this 5-gamer. So Yahoo's done a pretty good job with pricing overall, but there's some ways to target in the mid tier and the value tier as well on the guard spot.
Perfect. You know what else there is to target? Promotions, because this is one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum just by signing up. You deposit $10 or more as a new user over at Yahoo, you get literally one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. If you play in any paid contest, the quarter, the dollar, this contest I just referred to, it's a $12 entry fee. So deposit $12, put one in there, less than 5,000 entries with $10K up top, 11% management fee. That's lower rake. It's about 5.5%, 6% difference between FanDuel and DraftKings on their main iterations of tournaments. Best site you can play on, bar none. Yes, Rayen won over there the other night. Shout out to Rayen here. Playing Yahoo, not sponsored by, nope, none of us are sponsored by, but Yahoo specifically is the best site you can play at for your bankroll, not just for, up-and-coming newbies, but for people like Rayen, established top-level players. Doesn't matter which skill level you're at. You can also play head-to-heads that are tiered based on how good you are. So that makes it such an enjoyable experience over at Yahoo. So stop guessing, start winning. Join Yahoo through this promotion. And thank you so much to them for hanging out with us here on the NBA Slate Starter podcast. And of course, I know a lot of you guys are signed up over there already, but just telling you, play there all the time. Let's head over to DraftKings here. DraftKings forward. That's what I meant to say, not FanDuel. I might be tired. Giannis, 12-1 on the top end, coming off of, what was it? Oh, yeah. He put up 74 fantasy points. You like that on any slate ever. Kyle Kuzma coming off of his massive output. He's up to 9K on DraftKings. I almost want to stop there and just ask you, 9K Kyle Kuzma, yay or nay?
Yay. You got to take some chances on a 5-game slate. And look, Kuzma has been sensational. He is running the show for this team. If he's going to shoot 27 times a game, he should be 12K. And he's getting you doubles, assists. He's doing it all. And he's playing high 30s minutes. I think Kuzma is just going to put up monster fantasy games throughout the rest of the season. If Porzingis doesn't come back, this might be his last game to show out. Until Porzingis comes back. So in a Brooklyn spot, I like going to Kuzma. Even at that elevated price tag, he's going to be low owned, but damn, he seems pretty awesome to go to.
Yes, he does. Just wanted to stop there. It felt like a nice spot to stop, stretch out our legs there for a minute. Let's keep it rolling though. I think Porzingis is just going to continue to be out here for Washington. We'll talk about all of these guys. You know what? We should actually do that. We've got Denny Avdia. Contavious Caldwell-Pope night was tonight. Hopefully somebody got on board for that. I got a tiny bit. I just wasn't going to be there on this kind of a slate where I thought late news was going to really be popping up left and right. And boy, did we get that with Şengün, but still needed some other pieces to fall in place. But Denny Avdia, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, where did he go? Corey Kispert's now shooting guard only, so guess we can't put him in the mix over on DK. But let me just ask you, out of all these 4K Washington guys, who is your favorite to roster tomorrow?
4K Washington guys over there on DraftKings. Man, it's in a Brooklyn spot. Ooh, it might have to be either Denny Avdia. Actually, it's going to be KCP.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be KCP.
I'm with you. 4,400. Yeah. Playing big minutes. Eventually, the shots were going to fall down, and now we saw some stuff happen tonight. Again, I don't know what the difference is in some of these guys. It's so hard for me to differentiate because they all kind of do a lot of the same things. It's like 3-and-D guys, and without the D, I suppose, they don't really play that much defense. Contavious Caldwell-Pope once upon a time was supposed to be a Laker. They could really use him, or, I don't know, Alex Caruso right about now, but I guess they got off to a good start against Utah. We'll see if they can keep it going here. Utah's now up 39-33 as I said that, but looking at the box score, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, 9 for 18, 5 for 8 from 3 tonight, 27 real points. I think he's probably my favorite of the grouping too, but he could end up being the most popular, in which case maybe I find some pivots. Continue talking about forward for me, Ryan, over on DraftKings.
Yeah, looking at the forward spot on over there, continued on DK. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo 12-1 in a primetime spot against Philly. Yeah, he's been amazing. He can get you 50 raw points, as we saw the other day. Obviously, much more difficult spot. Indiana onto Philly, but Giannis is Giannis. He can just break the slate, be the highest scoring player by 30 or more points on this 5-gamer. But looking a bit lower, Jimmy Butler, $8,800 in a Charlotte spot, targeting Charlotte, hunting Charlotte makes a lot of sense. Tobias Harris is not cheap enough at 7,100. One of the few games we'll get without James Harden going forward. 7,100 Tobias Harris, now on a 5-gamer. I want to target. We saw PJ Washington start last game. It'd be tough for me to go there if we continue to get no Christian Wood. As we get Alfred Şengün, who is $7,000 too cheap, in my opinion, at $4,500. So I think Şengün getting at a hefty discount if he's going to start against this Clippers team. And that's really about it over there on FanDuel. I think another shout out to Seth Curry, 3-point bonus against Washington. He can find his way to knocking down 4 or 5 3-pointers and getting you, I don't know, high 20s points on the slate seems justifiable to take you there.
That definitely it does. Giannis 11.5 over on FanDuel.com. Bam Adebayo 9,500. He is really expensive, and yet against Charlotte, you got to talk about it here. He was on his way to eviscerating against Dallas there. They ended up running him out of the building. But against Charlotte, with pace up, possibility of no Jimmy Butler. If Butler's out, I will still be okay with 9,500 there. Kyle Kuzma is going to be infinity beyond infinity percent owned at 7,700. We're going to see some massive chalk over on FanDuel tomorrow. So enjoy, saddle up, partner. Going to be a bumpy ride. Marcus Morris, 6,100. That's a point of leverage that I'm probably going to like. Hopefully he goes a little bit underrepresented. PJ Washington started there, but let's just go down to our guy. Alperen Şengün is going to be the most owned dude in the history of the universe in the event that you have no Christian Wood and no KPJ out there tomorrow. 100% lock button tomorrow?
Yeah, if there's no Christian Wood, yeah, I said Alfred Şengün was $7,000 too cheap on DraftKings. I think he's $7,000 too cheap on FanDuel as well.
There you go.
Şengün's a beast, and it's coming around. I think we've seen some spark games when he started, some games off the bench, and now today he showed why he fell. He showed why he shouldn't have fallen this far in the draft. He's just a fantasy monster. Obviously, he's young and needs to get his defensive footwork down, but he is a special talent, in my opinion, in Şengün. And I love going to Şengün tomorrow. And tough not to start your lineups there if there's no Christian Wood. But if there's Christian Wood, you can play Christian Wood. He's a pretty solid play himself on a 5-game slate. But spending it for Giannis doesn't seem like a bad option whatsoever. Kuzma followed by him. We touched on Charlotte. Butler and Bam might be low owned on FanDuel, and especially low owned guys versus Charlotte. We've seen time and time again people get there against Charlotte. Spending down, KCP $4,200 makes a lot of sense to go there. There's just going to be lots and lots of concentrated ownership. So going to be lots of merit to pivot and taking long shot risks. Like as crazy as it sounds, guys like Serge Ibaka, who might be asked to play more role against Embiid, kind of the reason why they traded for him, I think, just to man up Embiid, a potential playoff matchup. LaMarcus Aldridge on a back-to-back. Aldridge was filthy good today in the offensive game. His 2-man game with Cam Thomas, Bruce Brown Jr., man, I got to like what I saw from Aldridge at $5,200. Recency bias there, but it's a 5-game slate where you got to take some risks. Heavily discounted Brandon Ingram. I think makes an excellent pivot off of Kyle Kuzma ownership at $7,600. Small forward only. Dallas spot, yeah, it could be better, but Ingram's got the upside to be one of the highest scoring players on the slate. No questions about it. He's not going to be owned like that whatsoever. You
don't have to tell me twice to roster Brandon Ingram. Let's head to Yahoo. We go to Giannis, $56. Jimmy Butler, $39 if he plays. Kuzma, $35. Crazy. Just Kyle Kuzma. It's so expensive everywhere, and he's like worth it. It's just... I don't know what to say. You'd look really good right now in purple and gold. KCP would look good. Alex Caruso would look good. I'm not a Lakers fan. I love watching them score. And Brandon Ingram, $33 here. Miles Bridges, $32. But Terrence Mann, we I don't really know if we talked about the Clippers as much at the forward position here. We're going to have Terrence Mann. We're going to have Nicholas Batum. We're going to have Marcus Morris. I think all of them are viable across the board. It's such a great game environment. You will not be able to you will not be able to count your money until the end of the night because Houston, number one in pace. Dennis Schroeder going absolutely bonkers right now alongside your boy Şengün. If he's still on the basketball team, that'll be fun. But yes, I want all the Clippers forwards too. Who would be your favorite on Yahoo tomorrow?
Looking at Yahoo over there, spending up for Giannis, there's enough value to do so in Yahoo. Makes a lot of sense to do so, but a lot of spend down options in the four. I'm jumping straight to the bottom. There's KCP at 12. There's Nick Batum at 13, who's been really good the last couple of games. There is a $10 Jackson Hayes. He's not as strong, but he's $10. Denny Abdia is 14. Patty Mills is 16 with forward eligibility. We haven't seen a good Patty Mills game yet, but it might happen against Washington. Spending up here, Kuzma makes a lot of sense, as does Miles Bridges. Top Miami spot. I think we're getting Tobias Harris at a little bit of a discount for the upside and roll that he might have in a Milwaukee spot. $28. Now in the mid-tier, there's not many exciting guys in the mid-tier. A lot of low-end and high-end talent in the forward spot. So you're either spending a lot of money or going all the way down, it seems like, on this forward spot on Yahoo, especially tomorrow.
All righty. Guys, I said we'd be fast. We're going to be fast today. To the center spot we go to round it out before the All-Star break. And don't worry, we're coming to you with an All-Star edition of the NBA Slate Starter because that's how much we care about our listeners, and that's how much prep I'm going to make Ryan do. That's just how it works. He's pushing P, though. He's pushing P over there. Joel Embiid. You have Giannis there, 12-1 first. But Joel Embiid, he disappointed the entire universe. But these are the kind of games where I think Joel Embiid is going to have to start showing out here. As you said, Serge Ibaka acquired to try to handle him. Well, if Joel Embiid wants to go nuts, he's going to go nuts. And he's going to get all the usage here. Pretty flat outing there by the Philadelphia 76ers against Boston. Something tells me Embiid bounces back in a big way. I'll want to be there. Bam Adebayo, 8,400 would be my favorite center play, period, in the event that you end up getting Jimmy Butler ruled out. The assist rate goes through, over 20%. Kyle Lowry is there, which is a little bit different than Goran Dragic there being in there in the past. So it's hard to look at too much of a sample size because Kyle Lowry can be that distributor. So I have a solution. Play both of them. We've got Jonas Valanciunas, 7,400. Andre Drummond, 6K. He went nuts and then just didn't close out the game because he's not a good real-life basketball player. Don't hack Greg Ehrenberg. Trust me, I'm going out. I'm right there with him and Adam Scher and all the guys. And Andre Drummond, phenomenal fantasy point per minute guy, phenomenal fantasy asset, terrible real-life basketball player. His plus-minus had to be garbage. I'm going to actually look that up while we're talking here. But Zubats, 4,700. Love seeing Ibaka shipped off, because now you've seen in two competitive games there, they blew Golden State out of the water, but 33 and 31 minutes they're sandwiched on the opposite ends of that against Dallas and Phoenix here. Up against Houston, I don't really know who's going to be able to handle him down low. Probably the answer is nobody. Not your boy Şengün, that's for sure. Give me all the Zubats sub 5K, not just because I love him. Who stands out to you at center for tomorrow's slate?
Yeah, looking at tomorrow's center slate, there's a handful of options. Apparently, we got word Anthony Davis just has a bad ankle sprain, so Anthony Davis to the locker room, I believe, will be coming your way very soon. So, unfortunately, to see Anthony Davis go down yet again. But here we are. It sounds like
my Ja Morant, Şengün, Dennis Schroeder lineup is dead. It had a 1% Anthony Davis trying to hit the home run, but
I mean that's the move. But it seems like Jokic is on a pathway to outscore Ja Morant all of a sudden. So
I had a 2v2 situation where I got off of Jokic and somebody else because I thought Jokic would be literally like 15 times more popular. I think he was, but Anthony Davis was playing great until this point.
Yeah, it's tough to see. I hate to see Anthony Davis go hurt, and he gets bullied on social media for it. Rough go for AD, but spending it for Joel Embiid's been a monster. But I'd be less inclined to play him tomorrow. I think I don't think I'm about to go to Joel Embiid. I don't know, 11-8. I can't play all the studs. He's probably my least favorite stud to go to. I think I'd save a little bit of money and target a guy like Alfred Şengün. We touched on him. I have no issues going to Şengün, but center only guys. I think you can fall on some Drummond, risky there. Jonas Valanciunas, 7,400. I like going to. I know it was very disappointing, and we haven't seen the consistency there since CJ McCollum has shown that he should be the lead dog on this team. But keep in mind in the situation there, for any reason, if Miami decides to rest some guys, I think Omer Yurtseven, 3,200, 5-game slate. The guy can get you 20. 3,200, if he's going to get you 20, can definitely carry you there, especially on DraftKings where you can roster 2 centers.
Don't you just want to have Dedmon out and you can probably roster him anyway?
Yeah, you would like to, yeah. But the opportunity cost is kind of high if you think about it. If there's going to be like a 100% owned Şengün and then 100% Şengün, fading that, it's going to be tough. But you get 2 spots. Yeah, that's like a long shot tournament play. Nothing.
He's power forward eligible too tomorrow. Şengün, right?
Şengün?
Power forward center. So
yeah,
don't have to worry about it. We can play him in 4 spots.
Yes, you can play him across the board. Nick Batum has center eligibility as well in a Houston spot, so you can go there as well.
And Dedmon is out tomorrow, so we can definitely fire up here at 3,800 on FanDuel.com. Probably the cheapest I would be looking at getting to anybody. Period. PJ Tucker laughing 3,800 right there too. But Joel,
why are you laughing at him? He's the best 3-point shooter in the league.
He is highest 3-point percentage because again, our friend Eitan Shander loves 3-pointers, and we did a prop show yesterday, and oh boy, we were talking like 9-10 player 3-point parlays. Go to oddshopper.com. You can definitely find some value, but I don't recommend 10 player parlays. But I will say, PJ Tucker, number 1 3-point percentage in the league this season. Pretty incredible. Joel Embiid 11-4. Bam Adebayo 9,500. Again, if Wood plays 8,100 would be a lot of fun. Power forward center. Andre Drummond, they kind of priced him up a little bit, 6,600, but they did a weird thing with Jonas Valanciunas and they dropped his price more, 6,400. He hasn't been there of late here. Zubats is up to 6,200. Crazy to see him and Jonas Valanciunas in the same stratosphere, but here we are. Mason Plumlee, 5,700, coming off of a near triple-double in overtime, an assist away from it. Absolutely ridiculous performance against Cat in that overtime game. But as you said, Şengün, power forward center eligible over there on FanDuel.com. So 3 spots we could play him in there. But I'm looking at Yurtseven 3,800. That's as cheap as I would go. Who are your priorities for FanDuel tomorrow, Ryan?
For the center spot, yeah, it's Şengün for sure. We're just counting on Christian Wood sitting, but Christian Wood's a fine play if he plays as well. So I think we're all caught up in the moment, and we're living in the moment with Alfred Şengün. But I think you can definitely spend it for 11 for Embiid. Makes a lot of sense to go there. Then everyone else is priced appropriately, in my opinion, except for Valanciunas for the upside he contains at $6,400. I like going to him. He's going to contain some ownership as well. I think the optimizers and he'll grade out as a good value play, rightfully so, but the upside is definitely on the table. Other center options, we've seen the Drummond up and down minutes, but Drummond doesn't need 30 minutes to pay off a $6,600 price, so you would like it. It's a Washington spot. Plenty of pace in that environment between Brooklyn and Washington. Since teammate LaMarcus Aldridge played pretty well. Thomas Bryant, I played Thomas Bryant a handful today. It was disappointing. That means he's going to erupt for 40 tomorrow. So I like going to Thomas Bryant at $4,600.
All righty. Wow. Well, let's round it out with this. This is fun. $54 Joel Embiid, $35 Bam Adebayo on our sponsor Yahoo, and an $11 Alperen Şengün. Does Şengün compete with either of them from a raw fantasy perspective tomorrow?
Yes, he does. If he's going to play without Christian.
It's like a remote question.
I mean, the thing is, I've been foreshadowing this thing for a long, long time, and it all came to fruition today. But Alfred Şengün, $11 is, I think, $50 too cheap on the slate if there's no Christian Wood. But I kid. He's in play with or without Wood, especially at $11. So I like him regardless of the situation. I think pivoting off from Şengün might be an Isaiah Hartenstein taking on his former team. Hartenstein, an effective point per minute guy, a very good fantasy point per minute guy when given the minutes. Montrezl Harrell, $16. Tough Miami spot, but the minutes have been sprinkled his way. He's shown that he's get it. Not winning games in Charlotte, but he's showing that he can play well. But
Yeah, that
it
doesn't
definitely
matter to
seems
us.
like if there's value to get an Embiid, no issues there. But it's not a 2-center slate for me at this moment on Yahoo. But things can change real fast.
They take Şengün off the floor. Phoenix goes on a crazy run, still hasn't come back in the game. Tilt, Ryan, tilt. Although Dennis Schroeder's still out there just shacked in fools. It's beautiful. Guys, this was a fun one, per usual. Another great week in the book. Well, not fully, but for the regular NBA schedule, we're going to come at you, for all of you degenerates like me. We're going to have an absolute fun time breaking down the NBA All-Star Game. Looking forward to that. Ryan and I did that together last year on a Live Before Lock. This year, we're going to be doing it in podcast form for you. So definitely check that out. Smash that like button. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. We can't tell you thank you enough for all the nice messages on social media. Can't get enough of those. But Ryan, any final words for the people?
Yeah, if for some reason the salaries are not out tomorrow, we will let you know.
Oh, that's true.
We won't be able to do a podcast if there's no salaries out for DraftKings and FanDuel. I don't know if Yahoo will run a contest. It'd be nice if our sponsor Yahoo can put a single game contest together for the All-Star game. If for some reason there's no salaries out by tomorrow, I hope everyone has a fantastic All-Star break, and I'll catch you guys when we return. Please leave those 5-star reviews and Alfred Şengün to 12K, please.
He's Şengün. I'm Şengün. We'll see you guys later.